recording? All right. Can everybody hear me okay? Thumbs up. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Shauna. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning if you're watching the recording. Today is October 18th. We are in the middle of our busiest season. It's been a couple weeks since I've seen you guys because we had a holiday and then I had an event meeting that I had to go to right at the same time that they just could not schedule any other time but at that time. So business before training, that's what I always tell everybody. I hope you guys take that advice that it's more important to be working your business than training to work your business. So if you have business to work, you take that first. And then if you don't have business to work, you train on your business to get business. Okay, so before we get into our training, I want to go over what's going on with all of you so far. I'm actually going to, because it's past the 10th, I'm going to go ahead and share with you. Oh, shoot. Oh, yes. Okay. I thought that, I thought it wasn't going to let me see it. Okay. So I want to share with you guys some promotions that happened last month. I am going to be doing that this week, working on all that recognition stuff. But since I have you guys on live, I figured it's a good time to kind of share. So last month, we have, let's see here. I got to add their join date because the one thing, if you are a sponsor and you are looking for promotions on your performance tab under, it's a saved leadership report under promotions. If you have reinstatements, they're going to show up on promotions and it's going to say certified if they've already been certified. So that's a little confusing if you don't know them very well. Like I have a frontline consultant that reinstated last month and she was already certified. And so it looks like she promoted to certified, but she actually just reinstated. So that can be confusing. So just kind of pay attention to your reinstatements. So you're not like sending like congratulations for certified, which I've done before. That's how I learn, is always the hard way. So I just like to make sure that I give you guys those little tips, you know, teach you guys from my mistakes and just make it hopefully a little bit easier for you guys. I'm just, hold on a second, just trying to make it so I can see things a little bit better here. All right, so we have, as far as promotions last month, and this is just for my team. If you are on another director's team, you can, I'm sure they're going to be announcing those things, but this is a group meeting. So I do it for my team and the whole group at the same time. So just kind of a FYI. Okay. We have, this is so confusing now. Let me see here. Okay, so we have Lisa Gross. She promoted to certified. Crystal Gray promoted to certified. We have Nadia Herrera promoted to superstar consultant, which I think I announced a couple weeks ago because it happened before the end of the month. Congratulations to all of them. And we also have Kimberly Weger promoted to lead. And so that's super awesome. I also wanted to just kind of let you guys know, and this is for the group, what's going on. I'll just gonna kind of share with you guys who is in like top sales so far for the month, since we're like right dead in the middle. And I'll share with you guys the first like 20 people, and this is between 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so about this is between $1,000 all the way up to $4,300. Wow, we have 2 people that have $4,000 another that's almost 4, and we've got a few that have about over 2,000. The rest are over 1,000. So in first place, we have Amanda Bray, Tammy Shelton, Michelle Brooks, Lauren Clift, Nadia Herrera, Teresa O'Brien, Melissa Henning, myself, Michelle Rodriguez, Brittany Levine, Michelle Maldonado, Erin Gadera, Charlie MacArthur, Shauna Cox, Jackie Watts, Erin Thuman, Jennifer Bendez, Janet Mercado, Karen Fabio, Lisa Garcia, and Madison Grisco. All in the top 20 in sales so far for the month, but we have a lot of people that have well over 500 that are lots of people active this month. Super, super awesome. And then we have lots of people, well, not lots of people, actually, it's actually kind of low month for sponsoring. So that's why I'm glad we're having this sponsoring meeting tonight, because we haven't seen a lot of people bringing in a lot of people on board lately. So we only have 3 people that have sponsored this month. Nina Mancuri, Michelle Brooks, and Amanda Bray have brought 1 new person on so far. So that's why I wanted to talk about sponsoring, because it is the best opportunity that you can offer in your business to others, but also for you to grow your business. So that's why we're going to talk about that. I wanted to, before we jump into it again, I still have some things that I wanted to go over. We, in the news tab, they announced that, I actually printed it and now I don't see where they put it. So let's see. All right. Okay, here it is. So the Scentsy Club Awards referral program, they are going to be launching this referral program in Australia and New Zealand first, and then in the US, they will be launching it in the spring of 2022. They've been talking about this and planning for it since 2017. I'm super excited about this. They've been, we've been discussing it, doing a lot of feedback and sharing ideas at Superstar Director Summit for the past few years. And this is going to be huge, you guys, for your businesses. And so I really strongly want you guys to go to the news tab and check it out. I'm going to read a little bit about it right now for you guys. So basically, it says, here's how it works. When your customers shop Scentsy Club for themselves or refers friends and family who order from Scentsy Club, they'll earn points they can use towards future orders in Club or anywhere on your personal website, including warmers, diffusers, Scentsy Buddies, and more. That's huge because right now Scentsy Club is only for consumable products. So your customers can earn points in 2 ways. They'll earn 1 point for every $1 they spend in Club, and they'll earn 2 points for every $1 their referred members spend in Scentsy Club. To earn points for their referrals, Scentsy Club customers will need to send their unique referral link. So everybody will have their own link, and you will too if you're a club member, to a friend and family member, directing them to your PWS to set up their club subscription. Customers can find their link by logging into their Scentsy Club account and going to the rewards and referral tab. Then for every 25 points your customer earns, they can apply their points to get $1 off future Scentsy Club orders or any non-Scentsy Club order on your PWS. Okay, so earn 25 points, get $1 off, earn 500 points, get $20 off, earn 1,000 points, get $40 off, and so on. So points have no monetary value and may not be used on shipping or non-Scentsy Club licensed products. Customers may only redeem up to 50% off a total subscription or purchase amount at a time. Earn points expired after 180 days. So, and then terms and conditions apply. The new rewards and refer program is an addition to Scentsy Club's expert points, including always get my bar and 10% discount and half price items and qualified orders. So that's cool. So it's an addition. That's amazing. And you will earn full PRV for all Scentsy Club orders. However, to be able to offer this reward and referral program for your customers, your commissions earned on Scentsy Club orders that come from customers who were referred to you from your initial club customer will be 10% for essential consultants and 15% for certified and above. You will earn your full commission on any Scentsy Club customers you refer yourself. As a consultant, you are not eligible for rewards or referral points since you're earning PRV on Scentsy Club orders. And then obviously it says watch for, more information. So this can be super, super huge for your business. Now, this is something that you're going to utilize when somebody just does not want to join. You're just there, they are they're a great shopper. They're a client that buys all the time. They love their Scentsy, but they just don't want to have it, don't want an account for my own, for whatever reason, they do not want to join. But here's the thing. A lot of people, it takes them to get on board with Scentsy Club in order to realize that it's ridiculous that they're not a consultant. So it's kind of like the, what's the word? Not the leeway or whatever. It's like what's the word? What am I thinking about? I know you know what I'm talking about, Shauna. Anyways, you guys know what I'm saying. So and once they get on board with that, then they realize like, shoot, I could be making more money. And especially now that there's no like real minimum, that they have to put in, and they're putting in money anyways, regularly with Scentsy Club, it just makes sense. But sometimes it takes those little baby steps for them in order to kind of finally go, okay, this makes sense. There's several consultants that have joined with me that were my Scentsy Club members that didn't want to join. And they finally decided to do Scentsy Club. And then they realized, okay, I guess it's best for me just to be a consultant. So, if you haven't seen the post, we did have the launch of 3 different products today that hopefully you guys are aware of: the Looney Tunes, the Batman, and the Haunted Mansion. Haunted Mansion is going to be getting more products in November. So some of you messaged me upset, I didn't get my stuff, it's sold out. And so there's more stuff coming. So just watch your product status list. And then they did decide to add bundles to the Batman, and well, they already had for Batman, I'm sorry, to, what was the other one? They just added the bundle to another one. Let's see. Well, they already had Looney Tunes. Yeah, they didn't just do it. I don't know what I'm talking about. But if you didn't notice, there are bundles that that you can get a little bit of discount if you get more products together. So make sure that you tell your clients about that. If they're like, I want Sylvester, you can just, here's the thing, guys, they don't know what they don't know. And so we have to remember that we can't sell from our own pocket. And so if they're like, I want a Sylvester, and and our pocket is like, oh, that's a lot of money. A lot of us lose out on sales because we're not offering and sharing what's available. So for instance, I was talking to a lady messaged me yesterday about the Haunted Mansion, and that's all she wanted. But I said, well, we also have bars that go with it. I said, how many would you like me to add to that order? And I didn't ask her. I didn't ask if she wanted them. I asked her how many she wanted. And she's like, oh, okay. Well, I guess I'll just get one. I'm like, okay. And then she's also somebody that purchased the Villains Warmers before. And she got a special message from me from Project Broadcast. If you don't know what that is, it's an app and a website that is amazing. That you can group people in and make tags on specific like things about them. So I have a group of people that bought villains. And so anyway, she got this text from me, but she didn't respond. And even though she didn't respond, I could have just not said anything and said, oh, that means she doesn't want it. But instead I said, did you see my text about the new beautiful villains warmer? She's like, oh yeah, is it really as pretty in person as it is, you know, in the picture? And I said, honestly, I haven't seen it in person yet, but all of our warmers are. And she goes, yeah, you're right. She's like, okay, I'll go ahead and get it. And then I said, so how many bars do you want with it? And so sometimes they just need to be reminded, and they just need to be discussed and talked about. So it went from just the one warmer to a warmer and extra bars. Okay. So, but you have to have the confidence to be sharing those things. And one thing I always, I'm sure I've shared this over the years, but ask yourself, what did they say no to? Because they'll say yes to certain things. They say yes to what they already know they want, but we want to know, what did they say no to? And that means we've offered them things that they didn't know that was available. So we want to hear no's, because that means they have been offered all the things that is available. Okay. All right. So that's that. Let's get into our actual subject. So today I put in the comments on Facebook and also on our Zoom, the link to a document that I'd like you guys to, I hope you printed it. If you haven't yet, I'll give you a second. It's basically sharing the opportunity. So I want to walk through this with you guys, but as I'm going to give you guys a couple minutes to print that. I want to talk to you a little bit really fast before about why you should sponsor. And this is just a perspective from me. This is my story. Okay. And it's important to know people's stories, because that's what sells. That's what hits the heartstrings, because people need to know real life. They need to know what's really affecting other people. When I joined over 10 and a half years ago, my sponsor didn't know that it was going to change my entire life in so many different ways. We'd be here till next October. Okay. If I told you how many ways it's changed my life, it's changed my children's life, it's changed my husband's life. And then it's changed hundreds of people's life that have been in and out of our organization in my team and in my group in different ways. And it may not have changed them for they became lifers, but it affected them in ways that it added value in some way in some time in their life, maybe for a season, or maybe it's for years. It's all going to be different for every single person, because everybody has different journeys. But for me, I had no idea when I decided to join that it was going to change my life either. However, I've shared this with some of you guys before. I did have a prompting that it was an opportunity that I shouldn't miss. And I'm grateful for that I listened to that prompting. I didn't know what that meant, but I told my husband, babe, I really think this is going to be something that's going to be a big deal. Like, I think it's going to change everything for us. What I said to him is, I think this is our last shot, because if you don't know my story, I was laid off from my last job, and I couldn't find a job for about 10 months living in New Mexico after we got sent to New Mexico from Las Vegas. I couldn't find a job. And there's a lot of people that can relate to that. And we were at the point that my, unemployment was exhausted. And I didn't know how completely broke we were until we weren't getting that little amount of unemployment anymore. Okay. And so I'm not going to tell my whole story. I will post my story so people that don't really know me yet, so you guys can watch that. But there's so much that this business can do for people, and it's not just financial. This business has the ability to give you something for yourself. And what I mean by that is it gives you a reason to grow yourself, to learn new skills, to find new ways to even run your own life. Meaning, it makes you kind of go, okay, I have this new business. I need to fit it into my life. I don't know how to do that, but if I want it to work, I need to figure out how to organize my life so I can fit it into my life. And one of the biggest blessings a lot of consultants will tell you, including me, is that it's helped them become more organized and manage themselves better. And what I mean by manage themselves is that because you're not managing time, you guys. Time, we all have the same time, 24 hours. That's it. Everybody's got the same time. It's how you manage yourself, of how you utilize that time. Okay. We all generally have to sleep about 6 to 8 hours, right? So that's done. That's easy to factor in. And then everybody has different discipline, that we have responsibilities, and you plug that in. But then there's times that it's up to us to manage ourselves and how we're going to utilize it. Okay. And so that has been one of the biggest blessings that a lot of people have told me, is that they've become more in control of their life. Okay. And so these are kind of stories that you need to be sharing with these people, because one of the biggest rebuttals you're going to hear is, I don't have the time. And a lot of you are probably like, yep, that's what I hear all the time, is I don't have the time. And here's the thing. We all don't think we have the time. And if we tell ourselves that, we don't have the time. There's a saying with, you hear this regularly from Henry Ford: whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. If you think you don't have the time, then you don't have the time. Your thoughts become reality. So if you tell yourself that you're too tired to do anything, then you're going to be too tired to do anything. If you tell yourself that you don't have enough time to do something, then you're not going to have enough time to do something, because you're not going to put effort into doing it. Okay. So first, I want everybody to get this worksheet out, and we're going to build your, we're going to go through it, and then we're going to build like a, your prospect sheet here, and talk about it, and who's on the list, why, and how you're going to meet them. And I'm also going to go through some sponsoring conversations, and I'd like, with the people that are live, I'm going to do some role playing, because it depends on how you respond to things on, that you may not even realize how to respond. But it has a lot to do with your confidence and your knowledge of your business. But usually those two things are the only thing that make us struggle. And that's including me, you guys. I'm human. Yes, I've been doing this for a lot longer than everybody, but I'm still human. So I do still have my days that I get nervous, and I do get stumped, and I don't know what to say. But the thing is that I take that as, okay, I just have a couple more conversations to do. There's days that I should have said something and I didn't. So I put it on my list of, like, this person I haven't talked to about sponsoring yet. I need to have that conversation. So don't beat yourself up if you haven't talked to everybody about sponsoring yet. Okay. So this says, use this sheet to identify prospective team members, craft your join message, and put your plan together each month for sharing your Scentsy opportunity. So your join message, what is your join message? Basically, before, and this is going to help you do it, but I want you to think about, just for a couple seconds, why are you here still? What is it about Scentsy that gets you up every day and makes you work your business? How does it make you feel? How has it added value to your life in any way? Again, it doesn't have to have changed your life completely like me, but does it make you feel happy? Does it get you excited? Have you gained friendships that you never had? Has it helped you financially? I love when people message me and say, Jess, I've been able to pay for my kids' dance lessons with Scentsy, and it just makes me so happy. And that makes me happy because it's adding value to their lives and it's filling a purpose that they joined for. And so can you imagine that feeling? If you haven't had somebody message you yet or call you or talk to you and say, I'll just use Shauna because I'm looking at her and say, Shauna, thank you for giving me this opportunity because I now can put my daughter in dance lessons because you offered me the opportunity for Scentsy and now I can afford it. How great would that feel, right? Pretty dang good, right? So we have that power, you guys. We have that blessing to pass on to everybody. But the thing is that we have to believe that. So what is your belief system? Do you believe you really have something to offer? And usually we are struggling with that if we're not sponsoring regularly. And I can tell you from experience, when I'm not sponsoring regularly, it's because I'm struggling with my own belief system for whatever reason. It may not be my belief system with Scentsy, but I may be struggling on a personal level, my own self-esteem or whatever. So we all go through it. So I don't want you guys to think that, once you get that belief system down, that you're never going to struggle. That's just the ups and downs of the business. But that's why you go back to something like this document to kind of, and it says monthly, right? It says each month to kind of remind you of this blessing that you have to offer. And so a lot of people struggle also is because you may not be you may not have changed your life completely. You may not be making the money that you would like to make with Scentsy yet. And so you think, well, I mean, why am I going to offer it to somebody else? Because it's not like it's doing anything for me. But let me tell you something, you guys. My sponsor, I doubled my what she made. She was in the business for 2 years before I joined. I made a paycheck twice as big as she ever made my first paycheck. So that can be somebody that you sponsor. And the human in us, whether you realize that or not, our human instincts thrive on service. And so even though we need money too, and that might be one of your whys, which is fine because money is resources, it is just as fulfilling to be able to say, you know what, I may not be there yet with my goals financially, but oh my gosh, the person I sponsored is fulfilling their goals. And that's just going to make you fulfilled and push you. Do you know, because of that, it pushed my sponsor to go, I need to get on my game here. And it made her start working her tail off because I went from an essential consultant to a star consultant, which was her title. And she said, oh my gosh, if I want to be paid off you, I need to promote next month. So she worked her butt off so she can go above. But then that same month, I went to superstar consultant. And then so she had to work her butt off to get the director. And then I was a superstar for 2 months. And then right after that, I got to director. And then we were the same for a few years. But once you're director, you can have somebody director and you do get paid. And even after I promoted to star and superstar, you still get paid off of it. So as long as you're a director. So I know that might be confusing, but what I'm trying to say is that it's so fulfilling, even more than you realize, to be able to say, I had a little bit of part of that. I was able to add value to somebody's life. And again, I may not be where I want to be in the business yet. Again, we always want to add yet. And here's the thing, guys, if you're sponsoring, that yet is going to be sooner than later, because that's how your business is going to grow. If your business isn't growing financially, if you're not sponsoring, that's why it's not flourishing. I hate, the reality is, guys, is the way you make real money in this business is by sponsoring. Just a reality. A lot of people kind of cringe and they don't want to hear the truth, but that's just the way it is. It's also the smart way. Okay. The reason why is because if you're just selling like a banshee, you're going to get exhausted. You can't keep that up, you know? And so the more people you help, the more you're going to help yourself. Okay. Help enough people achieve their dreams, you're going to achieve your dreams and beyond. That's a saying. I forget who said it. I think it might be Zig Ziglar that said that. All right. So your worksheet, who's on your list? Now, most of you, I know Cindy and Shauna, because I, see them and talk to them often. I know they have their list of 100. But I want you to also always be adding to this. And when you do like your dream board, I want you to think about like, who would you love on your team? So think about people that, what are their characteristics? What are their skills? Because if you haven't heard or read or listened to The Secret, you get what you put out there. So if you're thinking, I want a business owner on my team that knows, businesses and what it takes to build a business and that has skills building a business, and you put it out there in the universe and you put it on your list, you're going to find somebody like that because you are basically placing your order of who is going to be on your list, on your team. And I know that sounds crazy, but that's just the way the laws of attraction works. Okay. Your thoughts become things, your thoughts become reality, and it comes in good ways and in bad ways. So if you're thinking, nobody wants to join my team, I'm not a good sponsor, I don't have enough skills, then you're right. That's what's going to happen. You're creating those things to happen. You're creating, your brain is telling you, and the universe is going to be hearing, you're right, you don't have enough skills. You're right. You don't want to join. Nobody wants to join your team. And so, but the thing is, here's the reality. The biggest thing that I hear with consultants that say, oh, I'm too new, I don't have the skill. That's why you have a team, guys. That's why I'm here. That's why your director's here. That's why upline even above me is here. That's why all these amazing Scentsy consultants share all their Facebook trainings. And I mean, it's not just you. And here's the thing, guys, I'm not going to take credit for all the success the people in our organization. There's not a lot of people that, to be honest with you, all the successful people in our organization, they went out and got it themselves. Yes, I'm here to support, and I've always supported them and cheered them on. And if they've asked me, questions or asked whatever, I've always been there. But I'm not going to take credit and say that they're successful because of me. No, they have to go out and achieve and listen to those trainings and act upon those trainings. And so it's almost selfish of you to say, or kind of egotistical to say, like, you don't have the skill to be a good sponsor, because that's like saying that you have the power to make somebody become a good consultant. It's up to them, not you guys. Okay. And I know that sounds kind of like mean, but I want you to think about that. You're literally saying that their destiny is up to you. And that is absolutely not true. If they want it, they're going to find it. I can't tell you how many superstar directors have told me and say it very openly that their sponsors were MIA, still are, and have done nothing for them. And guess what? They just went up the line and did their own thing. And now they're superstar directors and they've never had any type of support. So, and another thing that I will tell you is the most successful people in my organization have gone out and got it themselves. I haven't sit hours and hours and hours with them training step by step by step by step by step. Nope, I don't have the time, first of all. But I'm not going to put the time in because I have my own business and it's an independent consultant business, right? So this is kind of a tough love thing because I want you guys to really realize that you potentially could be holding out on really changing people's lives. I know for a fact that you have at least a handful, if not more, of people that can benefit from this opportunity. And it's possible that it's the only reason why they're not on your team is because one, you haven't asked, and two, the conversations have happened, but you didn't know how to actually handle them. So, which is fine. That's why we're having this meeting. Okay, so who would you love to have on your team? So this is the area that I want you to fill out, like types of people, skills, personalities, relationships that you're going to have. Do you want somebody that you want your next best friend to be on your team? How can Scentsy enrich their lives? This is something that I really want you to think about, because this is where your belief system starts. If you don't know how Scentsy can enrich their lives, that's an area that we need to work on, because that's an area of where you're blocking. That's a blockage of your success, because again, you have to have a belief system and understanding of what's available. And again, it's usually, and it's not always this way, but it is usually because you haven't received that enrichment in your life yet. And so you don't see that Scentsy can be enrichment to somebody else. So if that's you, but you want to be able to add value to somebody's life, please reach out to your sponsor or myself or director, and we will be able to walk you through, some different areas that we can help you build that area. And then notes for follow-up. So this is going to be, I'm just going to use an example. So who would you love to have on your team? So let's say we said a business owner. How could Scentsy enrich their lives? Business owners are usually working a lot because they own a business. Yes, they own their own business. They have a potential, they don't have a boss, they have freedom, but they tend to work a lot because they have to be the one running the show all the time. So they don't get to travel a lot, have time off. They have the freedom to do it, but they don't tend to. So notes for follow-up is to talk to them about maybe the ability to travel with Scentsy, to earn a trip. And it kind of forces them to go on a vacation because they've earned a trip. But finding out, is that something that you would like to do, that maybe owning your other business doesn't give you the ability to do very much, which is travel. And so Scentsy might give you that opportunity. But it's all about asking questions. What is it do you like about your business? What is it about owning a business that is hard for you? And they're going to let you know. A lot of people just assume that owning a business is so cool and, oh, you make a lot of money and you're your own boss. And yeah, but then it's not necessarily true. They may be up to their ears in debt. They may be just making their rent every month for their brick and mortar, location, and just making enough, supplies and things like that, just paying their employees enough. They're not making, and maybe paying their bills. You don't know that. So and that's what a lot of consultants do, is they assume that, oh, they own a business, they're fine. They don't need any money. They don't need Scentsy, but they may need it more than you realize. Okay. Here's an example. Michelle Brooks, a director on our group, she owns a batting cages company. Very successful one. You just assume that, oh, she's successful, she's got money, she doesn't need anything for herself. But that's one thing that she did want for herself, is she wanted connection. She wanted to be able to go and do like what excited her is when I shared with her about going to Scentsy family reunions, because she used to be a teacher and they used to go to conventions, teacher conventions, and she loved doing that. And so that's what made her go, oh man, that would be awesome. So it wasn't necessarily the money that turned her on. It was to be a part of something. So you just don't know what's going to perk their interest. Okay. How and where will you meet new people? Okay, so this is where I want to kind of chat with the people that are on live with the Zoom. Let me see on Facebook if anybody's commented at all. Hold on. If anybody's trying to participate, let's see. Hi, Catherine. Let's see. Anybody's trying to participate. There's Catherine. That's my voice. I'd turn that down. Hi, Natasha. Okay. No, okay. All right. So let's start with Cindy. Share with me a couple ideas, maybe like 3 of places or I don't know, ideas of how you can meet new people.
Starbucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, Starbucks. On the plane, take your testers with you. In the airport, on a plane, kids activities, baseball games, softball games, things like that.
Yes, yes, yes. I love that. So give me an example for somebody that's like, Starbucks, what are you talking about? Give me an example of how you would meet somebody at Starbucks.
So what you can do is meet somebody there for a sniff, right? And then you have your testers with you. You have them all laid out. You have your order forms, your catalogs and everything. When people walk and sit like toward, like kind of like around the door. So when people walk by you, they're like, what is she doing? And she's seeing people, you know, who you're sitting there with, taking the tester, sniffing it and putting it down. And they're like, and they'll come over and talk to you.
Yes, yes.
That's happened twice. Yeah.
Very creative. And one thing that a lot of people don't realize is that the blessing of our business is we could bring it anywhere. Like we could bring it to Starbucks. Like when you have a brick and mortar store, it's there and that's it. And we have to hope that people drive by, but we are a walking billboard and we get to pick up our business and take it with us. I've heard a lot of people tell me like, oh, I just started my business, but I'm going for 3 weeks to my mom's house across the country. So I'll have to wait to start it when I get back. And I'm like, no, pick up your business and bring it with you. And they're like, oh, I didn't even think about that. And so that is the beauty, is that you could bring it anywhere you go. And when you brand yourself, you could even be standing in line waiting for your client that you're going to do the sit and sniff with, getting your Starbucks, and you could start a conversation with somebody. And if they see that you're a Scentsy consultant, if they know Scentsy, they're going to go, are you a Scentsy consultant? Which is funny. It always cracks me up when they say, are you a, no, I just wear this badge just for fun.
So Ralph, and I really encourage everybody to get the decal on the back of their car. So this just happened last week. Ralph was coming home and he pulled into our community. We have a gated community. He pulled in and the mail guy followed Ralph in. And Ralph goes, okay, he must, it was Sunday, he must have a delivery here somewhere. So Ralph turned down our street and he's down, we have a pickup truck, so he always backs the truck into the driveway, right? And he's thinking, well, this guy is on my tail, he better leave me room so I can get in the driveway. So Ralph kind of stops, the guy stops like right behind him, and Ralph gets out of the truck and the guy goes, you guys sell Scentsy? And Ralph's like, yes. And he goes, man, I've been looking for a Scentsy Go and I just haven't been able to track down somebody. So we were getting ready for an event, and actually the gentleman, you know, he goes, I have to go deliver 2 things and I'll be right back. But he came in and he bought a Scentsy Go and some pods and everything. And now we have a customer.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah,
great testimony.
Yeah, definitely brand yourself, brand your car. I mean, like, you know, just said, walking billboard.
Love it. Awesome. Thank you, Cindy. Oh, and congratulations for it was her 6th anniversary this month. Yay. Yes. And then she won the Shooting Star Take 2 for October.
Yes, thank you very much. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Thank you. That's awesome.
Okay. Miss Shauna, can you give us a couple ideas of how to meet new people? Oh, you're talking and it's still muted, honey.
How's that? Better?
I hear you now. Perfect.
Yeah. Okay. So I have brought catalogs and so samples everywhere I go. So I mean, when you're waiting for your car at the car dealership, like somebody's asked me, oh, what is that? And then you just strike up a conversation. Or I will, when I go to the salon, I will pack bags for like, I kind of estimate, okay, who's do I think is going to be in there, and kind of just give everybody a little something, or give the employees a little something. And then always wear my shirt. The other day I had my shirt on. A lady that used to be a consultant before she moved to Hawaii said, "Are you a Scentsy consultant?" That's like, yes. And she said, "Well, how do you do with it?" And she seemed like really discouraged. And so I took the opportunity to just re-encourage her and, say, don't get discouraged. It's not saturated, I mean, you just, so that was pretty cool.
Yes, very cool. That's so
Yeah.
sweet of you. Very true. And I love that you said that it's not saturated, because here's the thing, guys. That's one of the things that most consultants or potential consultants struggle with, and that's what makes them not want to join. Is they're like, oh, I know so many Scentsy consultants, but most consultants aren't doing it as a business. They're
Right.
literally doing it as a smart shopper. They're buying it for themselves to get the discount. They may be selling to their mom, their sister, their best friend, or whatever, but they're not marketing. They're not trying to find new customers. They're not letting people know they're consultants. So there's so much business out there if you're choosing to grow a business. And
Right.
so if you put yourself in that category, you have a big pool. But if you focus on the number, it's quality over quantity, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I talk to so many people who still don't know about it. It's like, if it was that saturated, everybody would know about it.
That's so true. I meet people all the
There's
time.
still
It
so
still
many people
blows
are
me
like, what is that? What is that? It's like, well, yeah.
They're like, what rock have you been under? But okay.
Yeah, let me tell you.
Oh, and Cindy said everybody knows different people. So true. So true.
Yep.
It's funny because like if you're at a party, a lot of people go like, oh, these are all the people I know. And I'm like, really? I can bet you money that there's people that be in this room that they don't know. And it's when we start to challenge them, it's family, it's high school people, it's ex-coworkers, it's their spouses' coworkers, it's their neighbors. They just aren't thinking about that. They're thinking about the people that they socialize with on a daily basis, but they're not thinking about all the other people that they're acquaintance with, what is Cindy said we have a bunch of us up here in Providence and we all have different customers. Yes. So there's a small radius. It's called Providence. I used to live up there, and there's like 15 consultants, and everybody has their own customer base. And the funny thing, I always laugh that and I'm sure Cindy hears this too. I hear it regularly. People will say, oh, I've been looking for a Scentsy consultant. I'm like, are you kidding me? Just like Cindy said, oh, she didn't just say that. Like, this guy tells her he's been looking. And we're like, there's like 15 of us everywhere. And we all have our logos on our cars. So it's not like we're hiding. So that just shows there's so much business out there. And when you really look at how many people live in a house, how many households there is like, I think there was a statistic that said that there's like 400 customers to one Scentsy consultant. And that's like a small number. And if everybody was actually working their business and taking on 400 customers, which most consultants aren't. Most consultants do not have a customer base of 400 plus at all. So you've got to like categorize yourself as that the above average. And that's one thing that I'll share with you is that to be successful in this business, you just have to be a little bit of above average, just a little bit, meaning take care of your customers, follow up with your customers. And that's something that most consultants don't do. It sounds like it's a no-brainer, but if you're just doing those things, you're doing above what most consultants do. Okay, so the next thing on here is, so those are some ideas. So just start jotting down how you can meet new people, like referrals. Referrals are huge, you guys. If you're not asking your clients, your friends, everybody that you know for referrals of people that may be interested in, you know, some extra income, having their own business, if they buy Scentsy and, you know, getting a discount, whatever, you're missing out on a big opportunity because people know people. Okay, so building your message, reflect on the key benefits of running your own business. Flexibility, extra income, travel are a couple. What's happening this month that might appeal to prospective team members? Check the news tab for what's happening this month. Okay, so for instance, we have a lot of LTOs that just launched today. There's several consultants on our team that joined just because of products. So one person just off the top of my head is Melissa Saganero on Michelle Cohen's team. She is a Disney fanatic. She has like a special membership in Disneyland that she gets to go and have like a private, like, I don't know what, she's like Scentsy like guru. And when we went to Disneyland for reunion, that's why she joined. She's like, I want to go to Disneyland. And that was when we didn't even know we were partnering with Disney. And were announced that we partnered with Disney at that one. So she just like flipped out. So that was a tool that Michelle shared that she used, saying, hey, we're going to Disneyland for Scentsy Family Reunion. Why don't you just join? And she's like, okay, I want to go to Disneyland with you guys. So if you're thinking about those things, like, you know, if you know somebody that's like a Disney fanatic or a DC, a DC fanatic, or, you know, Star Wars or whatever, you know, talk to them about that. If you see people buying your LTOs like crazy, be like, look, I mean, I'm loving, you know, placing orders for you, but you could be getting a discount on all these, and we're going to be getting more, and you're probably going to be, you know, buying more. So you might as well have your own Scentsy account. And that's what I say is a Scentsy account, because that just basically gives them access to buy their own products. And then you just never know what they're going to do with their business. And here's the thing, guys, nobody knows what they're going to do with their business. We all think we're just going to do whatever, buy our own products. Nobody joins and says, I'm going to be a superstar director. I mean, I did like pretty quick, but I'm a rare situation. But when I joined, like initially, I was like, I'm going to sell the autism warmer. That was my focus. And then after, like, within a few weeks, I was like, okay, I want to be a director, which is kind of huge. Most people don't think of goals that high. Most people are just like, I want to get my stuff for free, you know, or I want to sell my 500, you know, baby steps. Okay. Let's see. So that's where you want to, you know, on Facebook, because that's kind of like our main resource of communication right now. Pay attention what people are talking about on Facebook. If they're like, I just lost my job, or my income's getting cut, or I can't, Kim, one of our team members just joined because she basically, her job is telling her that unless she gets vaccinated, she has to get vaccinated in order to go back to work. And she doesn't want to get vaccinated. She's like, I don't want somebody telling me what to do with my body. So she's like, I want to work for myself. So she joined Scentsy. And so pay attention to those things. People want freedom, and you can provide that. So, you know, if they are, you know, I haven't been on a vacation in X amount of years, or, hey, we're having an anniversary and we've never been on a honeymoon or whatever, you can offer those things, you guys. But again, you have to believe you can offer those things. So make sure that you are, you're looking at those things, you're paying attention. But the thing is you have to make time to intentionally be looking for those things. Because if you're on Facebook and you happen to see it, you may happen to see a random, but if you say, hey, for 15 minutes a day, or 10 minutes, or even 5 minutes a day, I'm going to spend time on Facebook and kind of see what people are talking about. And I'm going to look for somebody that I can offer the opportunity to, and send a message, you know, and set a goal of, I'm going to message 5 people a day. Can you imagine how much more your business is going to grow? Because you're planting that many more seeds. instead of just sporadically, like randomly seeing a post once a month. Oh yeah, that person, you'll get business eventually, but you're not going to be in control of the growth of your business. Does that make sense? So Cindy and I talk about, this is like our word is intentional. You have to be intentional every day, every week, every month. And the thing is this business is such a numbers game. It's kind of, what I try to tell people is that there's no way around the truth in the business. If you don't see sales, if you don't see recruiting, you don't see bookings, the numbers don't lie. It means we haven't had enough conversations with sales, bookings, and recruiting. So even me, guys, if you see that I haven't had if I haven't sponsored somebody in a month, it means I haven't had enough conversations. However, you may see that I sponsor 3 people in another month. And so the conversations I had in another month were building and planting the seeds, and they were watered, and then they blossomed in another month, right? So, and that's you, that could be you too. So don't beat yourself up if you don't have anybody, but the numbers really don't lie, Okay, so the next one is reflect on the positive things happening in your business. For example, what have you accomplished lately? What are you working towards? Who has inspired you recently? So these are things you want to pay attention to and you want to share. Share these things on Facebook. And I'll be honest with you guys, I always am. I have been bad about that lately. When I was really good with sharing things like that, I sponsored a lot more. You guys know that the past almost 5 years has been a big transition for me. And one of the areas that I'm still working on is just kind of breaking out of my shell again of sharing on Facebook. And I'm doing it in certain areas, but that's one area that I haven't been good at, is like sharing my experiences and like what I'm working towards and things like that. And so this is kind of, this is my goal with you guys, is to do better, because I've sponsored people just by sharing my journey on Facebook. People have contacted me saying, Jess, you look like you're having so much fun. I see all the things you're doing. I want whatever you got going on, I want what you have. And I'm like, okay, so it's sometimes that simple. And then sharing gratitude, like who really pay attention to who inspires you and follow them and reach out to them and say, hey, you inspire me, and pick their brain so you can, inspire other people. Because if they inspire you, that you can find tools and create a mindset in order to have that same inspiration for others. All right, I've been blabbing a lot. We're like, oh, but we're almost done with this worksheet. But then we'll do, and if you guys have to go, you always know it's fine. It's recorded. So, okay, put it all together. Now that you've brainstormed your join message, reflect on the following questions. What will you say about the people, why people should join this month? What will you say about your personal experience? What will you say about the key benefits of running your Scentsy business? Now, I want you to pay attention, because it says, we talked about it said doing this every month, because there is a different reason to join every month, right? Like right now, it's because we've got November and December. We have 2 more paychecks till Christmas. So that's a join message. You have Christmas money to have to pay for. So if you join now, you have 2 paychecks still left before Christmas. So that's something to think about. Okay. And then if there's some type, like last month, there was a join, a special that we got to utilize. So think about what you could be utilizing each month. And it might not change very much from month to month, but then it might, because you might have a specific tool to talk about. What will you say at parties and in one-on-one conversations? What will you share on social media? And again, so there are so many people in Scentsy that are killing it because they're really utilizing social media. Like amazing, you know, and again, you guys, I'm always transparent with you guys. I need to work on that too. I mean, I do, but not as consistent, and consistency is the key. And it's just like a reprogramming my brain this is the way the world is. And because I'll be honest with you, I've been so stubborn. Yes, Shauna, like I'm an old dinosaur and I'm like, no, I want to be in person. And so, but, and it always still will be the best way to communicate in person. But if you can't, the reality is we're going to meet a lot more people and reach a lot more people. I mean, from social media, it's just a broader platform with a lot more people. And so, we can seriously, show people what's going on a regular basis. And I really, really strongly recommend you guys to look into Project Broadcast, the text service, because even Director Michelle Brooks, she hesitated and she just started it 2-3 days ago. And she's like, oh my gosh, I wish I didn't wait. This has been a game changer already. So because it just, texting is like how you get to people. It's like everybody has their phone. And they may not be on Facebook every day, but they're on their phone every day, right? So, and I've had so many people respond to me way more, and people that have never responded to me before, for some reason, they've responded to me since I've been using Project Broadcast. And I've gotten way more orders. I've met more people that are interested in partying. It's been amazing. Okay, so step 3, take action. Here are some ideas for taking action. Post 3 times per week on social media about why you love your Scentsy business. Use the message you created on step 2A. So this is a format that we all can use, you guys. Like somebody like me that I have no idea how to do this, it's showing us where to start. And this is what we could all start doing. Have one-on-one conversation with each person you list in step 1A. Okay, so when we post, we want, the follow-up is always going to be the most important thing. So we can't just post and leave it, right? We have to post, we have to pay attention to any comments, likes, and we have to follow up. Hold an opportunity night and invite everyone on your list to attend. Date of my next opportunity night. So if you don't know, if you're not aware, we have a Zoom opportunity night once a month on the last Wednesday of the month. Hi, Tammy. Hi, Jet. And so if you have people that are interested, please send them to that Zoom. But also, if you can, try to make it with them, because you want them to be supported. You don't want them to be in this Zoom with some strangers that they don't know, so they could feel supported. And then you're also knowing what they're learning. Now, you could also make your own opportunity night. And that's just about you can invite them to your home. You can invite them to a Zoom yourself and just answer questions. But that's why all of the directors in our group, we all switch off every month and somebody leads it. And so they get to see different people and get a little bit of different information. And they get to ask questions with no, pressure or anything before they join. So make sure that you remember that if you have prospects and they're just not, signing the dotted line, remind them and send them to that last Wednesday of the month at 5:30 Zoom. And there'll be a invite on Facebook on our group pages. And I usually email everybody as well. So just send them the link. And another thing that I always offer, if you have somebody that doesn't want to join a link, I'm happy to have a 3-way call with somebody so they can pick my brain. I'm here to help, guys. Whatever you guys need, just let me know. And then my action plan for sharing the opportunity this month. There's something that is so powerful about writing down your plan. You're putting it out in the universe, you're setting an intention. And this is something that most consultants don't do, you guys. You're already above average. Just one, that because you're on this call, you're above average. Okay. Most people do not train themselves. They do not stay connected. So you're already above average. But then doing this And if you set the goal to do this every month in the beginning of the month, you are going to see a drastic change in your business. And you may not be sponsoring like crazy in the beginning, but you're going to be seeing that you're having more conversations, and you're basically setting the, you're laying your seeds, and you're going to see the reap of the harvest eventually. It's just the way it works. They say you reap what you sow, right? So the law of the harvest. Okay, so we're already past time, but I do want to go over when new people join. There's this sponsoring conversation tip that I usually include in my little packet. And I want to share this with you. I'm going to post it so you guys have it. These are like little rebuttals. Okay, so the first one is sharing the opportunity. I'm looking for people just like you to work with me in my business. Have you ever heard of Scentsy? Would earning additional income by doing something along your current job be of interest to you? Okay, so this is the response. I'm a single parent. Do you have a local friends or family members in the area to support you in a new business? Do you know another single mom who might be interested in working with you and sharing the child care for each of your children? And then this one says, not interested at this time. From time to time, our company sends us update information on our product line and business opportunity. Would you like me to keep your information in case something changes in your life? So these are like responses to people's rebuttals of why they aren't ready quite yet. So this person responds, I have to check with my spouse. Have you guys ever heard that one? I certainly respect that. Would your spouse mind if you were going to take an aerobics class a couple nights a month? So that's like a question you would ask them. And it says, so if they say yes, say, that's great. How would you think he would feel if you spent the same amount of time doing presentations for your new business? What are some questions he might have? What would he like about you starting your own business? What concerns might he have? So you're asking, like, if it's about the husband and he's kind of like hesitant, show interest that you care about his concerns. So you're asking, you know, what are his concerns so I can answer them. And what I usually do is I say, would you like to have like a meeting with him so he can, and I usually say, you know, he can pick my husband's brain all he wants. And that usually really helps. But if you don't have a husband that's involved, just offer to, you know, say, hey, I'll be happy to talk to your husband and, you know, ease his mind for any concerns he has. Okay, so this is about asking others to help plant seeds. I was wondering if you could share some information with others where you live or work. So that's kind of like asking for referrals. And it says, Scentsy's expanding and we could really use some help. Have you ever thought about doing something alongside your family and all your other activities? So that's the question. Here's the rebuttal. I'm too busy. Remember about that one? That's the famous one. And what type of activities are you involved in? So you're asking, like, what are you busy doing? Like, what are you so busy doing? And the thing is that nobody should be busy, because busy is not productive. So we want to know what they're doing that's so busy. So we want to help them. Like, let's get you not busy and let's get you productive. Okay. It sounds like you must know lots of people from all of your activities. Do you think that they would be interested in Scentsy family products? So you're not letting them kind of just nip it in the butt and say, oh, I'm too busy. You're like, oh, okay. It sounds like you know a lot of people. If you're so busy, you must be all over the place. So that means you see a lot of people on a regular basis. Here's another rebuttal. I really want to join, but I really feel a home-based business can fit into any lifestyle. I know a lot of people feel they need to wait for the right time. What would make it the right time for you to join me? May I share with you how many others have started businesses in the same situation? So if they're saying, but you're basically like, you're recognizing their concerns, that it's just not the right time for them or whatever their reason is. And so you're recognizing that concern, and that that this can be something that can fit into that situation. And that most people feel like it's not the right time. And what I usually say, you guys, is, you know how it's like, it's just never the right time to have a baby or get married. There's always a better time that we have more money to get married, or more money or better time to have a baby, but you just it just happens, right? It's the same thing. You just got to do it. And there's always a better time, and so you just got to dive in. And then you give, that's why it's important to be on these type of trainings and other trainings, is to hear people's stories, because you want to be able to say, here's a story of somebody that's really, really has a lot on their plate and felt overwhelmed joining, but this is their success story, that, it actually helped them. Because this is just coming from me. I've seen with my own experience, and other leaders will tell you, that the busier or the more productive and more active people are, the more successful they are. Because if they're just sitting around in a house doing nothing, they're not seeing anybody, right? They're not communicating with anybody. And our business is about people. So the more active they are, the more successful they're going to be. So if they're like, oh, I just have too much going on. Well, if you share with them, all you have to do is bring your business along with you of whatever you're doing, and collect orders, and, and share, like Cindy said, on the baseball field, and like, oh, I have baseball all the time, and I have dance class, and I have BMX, like Jet, and, all this stuff. Just bring it along with you. And I'm sure that's what she does, is just works it right into her regular schedule. Okay. And the last one is, I just moved here and I don't know anyone. I know that's what I told my sponsors. I was like, I don't know anybody where I'm from. Somebody's blowing me up on Facebook. Sorry, hold on a second. Oh, that's my client. I'll get back to her. I thought it was like a consultant or something. Okay. So this is response. May I share with you that you don't build a successful business based on friends and family alone? Aha. It can be a comfortable place to start, but not knowing anyone now will not be a problem. Would you like to know how you could meet people who will become your customers, and some of them will even become your new friends too? Would some extra income be helpful to you when decorating your new home? Would you like to attend our next team meeting? It would be a great way to meet people and get a feel for Scentsy. So just when you think about all these responses, you guys, you're not letting them kind of like shut you down and like make that their response. You've got to have confidence that you know more options than they do. And so their minds are very closed because they've never run a business before. So you have to have the confidence to give them the different, like open their mind and have a more open mindset. And that's one of the biggest blessings of this business, is that people's mindsets change. They become more positive. They see things differently. And people don't like to be closed-minded. And when you come off a little bit more confident and resourceful, it's attractive. They're like, well, shoot, I want to be more confident like that. So that's what my sponsor did. I was like, I don't know anybody. I don't have any friends. I don't have any family here. And she didn't let me just sit with that. She goes, well, you have family in other states, right? I was like, yeah. She's like, well, you'll have a website. That's what she said to me. And I was like, oh, like, okay, well, that just shot down that. I was like, is that basically what my brain said to me? I was like, okay, so, all right, I can. And all I was thinking about, you guys, was my mom, my two sisters, and my sister-in-laws. I didn't think about my cousins. I didn't think about my mother-in-law even at the time. I didn't even, like there's so many people I didn't think about. But once she said that, I'm like, oh, okay. And that was enough for me to say, I can sell the autism warmer to, my aunt, I thought of, because her son's the one that's autistic. I was like, okay, I could sell to my aunt if she can buy from my website. I can tell to my mom, my sisters will buy, and that's it. That's as far as I went. That gave me the confidence to join. So sometimes it takes just a little bit more of information, you guys, on our end for them to go, oh, okay, and to have that make that decision. Tammy says she's meeting so many more people since she's moved. That's awesome, Tammy. Yeah, we can tell with your $5,000 month last month. Just a little bit, huh? And she sold over 4,000 this month already. That is so awesome, Tammy. We're gonna have to have you on and share a little bit next week, hopefully, because we're over. But really fast, does anybody have like a specific person that you're working on that has given you some type of a rebuttal or a scenario that you're just kind of stumped with it? Like I could do a little bit of role playing or like share with you how I would maybe handle that before we go. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead, Shauna.
So, there's a lady that's been buying from me for quite some time now. She actually buys like a whole bunch of like warmers. And so I told her, I said, but she also owns her own business. And I said, do you buy so much? I said, you should join. I said, you're could be getting, your money back. And, what else did I tell her? She said, oh, but I'm so busy. And I said, well, you have your own business, so you must know a lot of people. And then she said, what did she say? There was a little bit of back and forth. She said, oh, I have no problem with the cost of joining, but what did she say? She was worried about having the time to do it herself, instead of me handling it for her.
Okay, so when people are worried about having the time, it means they want to do. Sorry. Oh, that's okay. So that it tells me that they want to do more. And so what I would perk my interest is saying, so what all do you think that you'd have to do with the business? Because we want to know what they see and what they assume is going to be required of them. Because what they think may not be anything. They may be boiling up all this, extra stuff. And another thing is that they see like business, like you're a business builder. You do this like a business. So she may think she has to do it like you. And that's not true. Like, so to be able to kind of ease her mind, ask her like, what do you think you have to do in order to make this work? And she might be able to say, well, you do this and I see you do that, and be like, oh, okay, that's what's going on, is you think you have to run your business like me. That's not the case. And the thing is we all know that she may end up running it like you, but to get her going, just to kind of, ease her, make her, what's it called? Step over the threshold, is just to make sure she understands that she can just get her own account and there's no obligation, that there's no expectation except for what she wants to do. And I mean, we don't want to discourage people doing more, but if that's the only thing that's stopping them, because most people, they, like I said, most people don't join with the intention to make it a business. It's just, you know what I mean? It's just not what people do.
That, but I mean, so did I. And look, I mean, you say that, but it's not always, what you do. And she already has her own business. So it's like, well, you never know. And
What is the business?
She makes her own wax melts.
Oh.
And she buys all my warmers.
Oh my gosh. Oh. Okay, so that changes things. Okay, you know what? This is what I would say is how much time do you put into making your own wax melts?
Right.
And how much profit do you make with the time that you put in? Because here's the thing. I mean, how much money can she actually make doing that? Being her own manufacturer, basically.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and that, so there's just a little bit more conversation that you kind of got to dig in and just be like, okay, here's the thing. I want to be able to help you, but there's more information I need to know. Like how much do you, and she may not want to tell you to say, this is information you can tell me or not, but the only way I can help you see how this business can actually help you is if I know this information. And what I would want to know is how much do you bring in every month and how much time do you spend and how much money do you put out by, by making your own wax melts? Because the smarter, I wouldn't say that to her, but between all of us, the smarter process is having Scentsy do all that for you. You know what I mean? The top quality products, and we don't have to think about all that. You know what I mean? And because, I mean, can you imagine how much time she's putting in just making the stuff? And then
It seems like just consumed all the time. And so I don't know. I just started doing what you said. I just started offering opportunity to everyone. So
good.
it's producing a lot more conversations than I thought.
Awesome.
And
Awesome.
a lot of people that I can follow back up with, which I mean, I've had good experience with that in the past. Like if they don't say no, like usually they'll want to, come on board eventually. So it's like,
Yeah. Yeah. It's usually not right now, but it's just exactly. Very cool. Yeah, I would ask her those questions. Like, can I just ask you, just because I really want to help you with this and see how Scentsy can really benefit you, because it's a similar product, similar, not, we know that. How much time do you really put in on, and then how much you actually, bringing, and then you'll be able to break down how much you can sell in, a month and how much you can make benefit. Like you could say, okay, you could sell $2,000 in your first month and make a $600 paycheck. And you're not making the wax, you're not, you're not shipping it, you're not, any of that. So find out, does she make $600 in a month? And how much time does it take her to do that? Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
That's where I would start.
okay.
And let me know. All right, my friends, I know we're a lot over, but yeah, sponsoring is a big thing, but it's the meat and potatoes. It's the heart of our business. It's how we make the most money, guys. And it's really the biggest blessing to all of us and to everybody. So really, really print this out, do yourself a favor and like print out, 12. So you have them ready for every month. And it forces you to sit down at the beginning of every month and do this new opportunity message every month and kind of see, okay, how has it changed? What do I have to offer this month? And it keeps you consistent with posting on Facebook. And I'm doing this with you guys. I would never ask you guys to do anything I'm not doing. Okay. So, and please let me know how it's helping if you see differences in your business. All right. Any last questions or comments before we say goodbye?
I have a question.
Yeah.
The bricks that we got, are they only going to come in bricks?
As of right now, yes, but they haven't said anything different. They may like come out for like next fall or something if they do well.
Okay.
I don't know, but you know how they are. They may surprise us like in December or something that they come in a bar because they do well. I know. They're so good.
I took all this time to make samples and everything, which is awesome. But then I forgot about making samples of the 3 holiday waxes that are actually come in the bars.
Mhm.
People are afraid to buy the brick sometimes, but yeah. So I'll just have to include because I wanted to put them all in like a bag, I wanna
Yeah.
open 'em all, and then, okay.
Yeah.
So I know, I'll get on it. This only comes in a break.
But once people do get a brick, they kind of become obsessed with it. I don't know what it is about having a big brick. It's like they're just excited to have all this wax. It's like,
Never gonna run out now.
yeah, and they tend to like use it more because they like think they have more that's going to last longer, and so it gets them on like this psychological like trend of using more, which is good for us because then they end up using more wax faster and then they need more.
Totally.
All right, my friends, it's good to see everyone. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you next week. Just a reminder, Tuesday, all consultant call, register on your workstation, Thursday night shift on Zoom, and the Saturday call. All lots of great resources to tap into. Okay. Bye, angels.
Guys.
Bye. Love you guys.